Welcome into another edition of The Point After. I'm Jorge Andres. NASCAR is in playoff mode, and the Duke's Mayo Classic returns to the Queen City. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, all is right in the world. Week 1 in the NFL season has officially kicked off. The 2024-25 season kicked off last night with a 27-20 Chiefs win over the Ravens. And this Sunday, the Dan Morgan, Dave Canales era officially kicks off here in Carolina when the Panthers visit their division rival New Orleans Saints. Now, this will be year 2 for Bryce Young, our young quarterback who's looking to silence critics under head coach Dave Canales' new offense. Now, both the offensive line and the wide receiver room have gotten a facelift this offseason, and fans are hopeful that will steer the ship in the right direction. Now, the team is traveling to New Orleans tomorrow, and kickoff is set for Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time from the Caesars Superdome. Several sportsbooks have the Panthers as 4-point dogs in this one, with the over-under set at 41.5. Focus on improving, not proving. That was a caption on Diontae Johnson's Instagram post dated May 3rd, just shy of 2 months from when he got traded from the Pittsburgh Steelers to your Carolina Panthers. An acquisition meant to elevate Bryce Young's game into wide receiver 1, whose unwavering focus and work ethic remain unmatched. Meet Diontae Johnson, the Panthers' new top X receiver. Welcome to Charlotte. How are you liking Charlotte so far?
I'm loving it. You know, the love I'm getting is different. So I'm just, you know what I'm saying, absorbing everything.
Weather's a little different.
Yeah, it's hot. It was real hot. Like, I haven't practiced in no heat like that. You know, wow.
It's no secret. Dave Canales, brand new coach here. Bryce Young, they want to elevate his game. You were brought in here to be a guy that helps elevate that game, be a guy that fits into Dave's scheme, fits into his offensive mind that he has. What's it been like to play under that scheme of Dave Canales?
It's been great. Just how they move me around in the offense, putting me in different spots, giving me chances to get up against like backers and nickels and stuff like that, one-on-one matchups a lot. So backside, away from the formation and whatnot. Being able to work the backside and get a lot of one-on-one matchups allows me to do what I do best, which is beat man covers.
What's Coach Canales like when he's not giving you a bunch of plays or formation, moving you pre-snap as a guy? What's he like?
He's real down-to-earth guy, you know. Great energy every day, smiling every day, greeting everybody each and every team meeting, before the team meeting. Just always bring that positive energy. Guys gravitate towards that.
Wide receiver 1, QB 1, they always got to be on the same page. What's it been like to be on that practice field, develop that chemistry with Bryce Young?
Man, it's great to be back in this position, back at the X position. And just having the opportunity to have a great quarterback like Bryce and just helping his game grow. And he's helping my game grow as well. Just, like I said, going out there every day between the lines, knowing that we're going to execute no matter whatever play is called, and just being able to put it on film and go back and correct those little things and be able to communicate with each other on what we see or what can we do to capitalize on it.
Why are you the guy that's going to elevate not just Bryce's game, but this offensive scheme and really display it on a national stage?
Just my unique skill set. I feel like it's a big upside to it. Just like I said, just being able to create separation and get open and make plays down the field, intermediate routes or whatever. Just keeping the ball ahead of the sticks on third down. That brings value to an offense, and having a guy that can get open at all times.
What is a weakness of yours that so-called analysts or critics out there may say, oh, well, Diontae's this, Diontae's that, but really, it's a hidden strength?
People say I was running backwards, I was dropping the ball, or I don't block, I'm a diva, this, that, and the third, but it's like, I'm a human being, just like you at the end of the day, so I'm not gonna be perfect. The best of the best, not perfect. They drop the ball or don't block or run backwards on certain plays. It's not like I'm intentionally trying to do that or they try to intentionally do it. It's just certain stuff happening in between plays, and I'm just trying to have a better attitude moving forward and just carrying myself with great body language, you know, because your body language says a lot about you when you're out on the field, whether you notice it or not.
Dan Morgan said he's looking for dogs.
Yeah.
Dave Canales says he's looking for dogs, looking for people to take his offense to the next level. What's that keep pounding motto mean to you?
Like you said, that dog mentality. Who's gonna bring it each and every Sunday, and not think about it twice. So once you step in between them lines, nothing else matters but that football and scoring points.
Saints this weekend, week 1, NFL season gets started. Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir, appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Brand new wide receiver 1 here for your Carolina Panthers. For more on Diontae Johnson off the field, make sure you tune into QC at 3 this afternoon for part 2 of my one-on-one sit-down. And don't forget, WBTV is your home for football on Sundays. This week, we will have the Raiders visiting the Chargers. Kickoff set for 4:05 from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. All right, shifting gears to NASCAR now, where the NASCAR Cup Series is in playoff mode. 16 drivers will gear up and look to speed past the competition to be crowned champion. Now, the green flag drops at Atlanta Motor Speedway this Sunday at 3. The playoffs will make their 6th stop right here in Charlotte at the Roval on October the 13th. So 2.5 months of focus and pressure, something drivers know it's what they live for.
Really, all of us, we are born for this. You know, we love these scenarios of pressure of, I mean, you have to compete, you have to execute, you have to perform. We love that.
The competitor side of me, that's a lot of fun. Just knowing that there's higher stakes, there's higher pressure, and you just have to be on your game. You know, all you have to do is be really good for 10 weeks. If you can put 10 weeks together, you can be a NASCAR Cup Series champion.
A wait-and-see type of mentality is what is on sports bettors' minds also. And, of course, some drivers will get bounced before that round of 8. But thus far, though, sports books, they have Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell with the best odds at plus 400 and plus 450, respectively. All right, time now to take a short break. But when we return, the Duke's Mayo Classic set to kick off tomorrow. And the Wolfpack are here to spoil the party for the Volunteers. We break down some college football next.
Multiple lane changes, tailgating, speeding, the daily chaos of driving Charlotte crazy. We've all seen it. Now WBTV is streaming a new show dedicated to the madness of Charlotte traffic. Join the ride. Download the WBTV News app and stream us on any device.
The best high school football coverage is all WBTV's Football Friday Night.
Hey, what's football Friday night?
Catch all the highlights from the game of the week. And we'll break down the play of the week everyone will be talking about.
Football Friday Night tonight at 11:20 only on WBTV.
Sponsored by Bojangles and Universal Windows Direct.
WBTV Consumer Solutions is giving a voice to those who need it the most. We're on your side to help you save money, protect your family, and address your issues head on. When you need answers, when you need results, watch Consumer Solutions at 6 a.m. on WBTV News this morning.
Welcome back to the point after. Let's chop it up with some high school football now, where last week Mother Nature wiped out most of the Football Friday night action in our area, but tonight the skies are looking clear, and we are in for a great week 3 full of highlights from the gridiron. Our game of the week features 2 of the most storied programs in Charlotte squaring off for the very first time tonight. Thanks to some last-minute scheduling conflicts, both Independence and Charlotte Christian ended up needing a game in week 3, so why not just play each other? There are a total of 16 state championships between these 2 programs, but it's been a few years since either team has hoisted up a trophy at the end of the season. It's a rare public versus private school showdown, and one that both sides are amped up for tonight.
At the end of the day, it's why you play the game, and like our guys love playing in these environments and against good players, and so I think it was just as soon as he kind of threw the idea, I was like, all right, let's go, and our guys are pumped for it for sure.
Yeah, it'd be a good deal, man. Like I said, you got 2 good programs, private versus public. You know, we're excited, man. It should be a fun deal, and we'll see about possibly keeping it going in the future, man. I'm all for good games and kind of keeping good games going for years to come, so we'll kind of see where it goes after tomorrow night.
And don't forget, our Cam Gaskins will be live on WBTV News this evening from Charlotte Christian to get you ready for kickoff. And remember, you can catch all the action from around the area tonight on Football Friday night, starting at 11:20. Meanwhile, Bank of America Stadium is getting covered in mayo. Well, not literally. Well, maybe parts of it. At least one coach or player, because the Duke's Mayo Classic is back in town, and this time it pits number 24, NC State, and 14th-ranked Tennessee. Kickoff set for 7:30 tomorrow night, and a game where the Pack looked to tighten up their defense, who had some trouble slowing down the Catamounts of Western Carolina. For Coach Dave Doran, this is exactly the kind of test he wants for his team.
I mean, I think being tested is a good thing. You know, showing that you can come back from adversity is a good thing. And Western Carolina is the #1 offense in FCS in 7 categories a year ago, so I wouldn't discredit what they did last year on offense. And I agree with you, Tennessee's a really good offense too. But for us to win the game, we have to do what we do. We have to execute. We have to play at a high level, and we have to play 11-man football. And so a lot more emphasis on us when it comes to executing and winning.
It'll be a big test for NC State. Now down south at Memorial Stadium, number 25 Clemson, they will look to bounce back from a tough loss to Georgia as they host App State. Now the Mountaineers, they come in looking to play spoiler, though, while Clemson is still licking their wounds again after that 34-3 spanking last week to Georgia. Now the perfect storm for another App State signature upset is set. However, Coach Sean Clark knows it's no easy task.
You watch the tape, and they have a very good football team. They just happened to play one of the best in the country on Saturday, and you look at it with 6-0 at halftime, and they gave Georgia all they wanted for 3 quarters. So it's going to be a tough challenge, but one we look forward to. And we travel well these games. It's an 8 o'clock game on the ACC Network, and a chance to put our program on the national stage.
And finally, the Tar Heels will look to remain unblemished as they welcome a wounded Charlotte 49ers team to Chapel Hill. UNC's offense struggled in their win over Minnesota, but against a Charlotte team that had 9 injured starters last week, this should be an easy W. Now for Charlotte, getting healthy is their top priority before opening up conference play against Rice in late September. Kickoff for this one set for 3:30. Let's give you some other notable games. Duke takes on Northwestern tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The Gamecocks, they're in action taking on Kentucky this Saturday at 3:30. Wake Forest hosts Virginia at 7 o'clock on Saturday. And ECU, they will travel to Norfolk to take on Old Dominion at 6 p.m. And if we're talking college football, we're talking NFL football, or anything football or sports gambling, we have to bring in our experts to give us their take on this weekend's best bets. And that's why we are joined by sports gambling expert for Verizon, Kelly Bidlin. Kelly, my man, all is right in the world. Football is back, baby.
It's like Christmas all over again, right? It's so great to have some football back in our lives, and great to be back with talking with my good friend Jorge.
Kelly, man, it's been a minute, but it's great to chat with you, especially when we're talking about some major matchups coming this weekend. Look, let's start with college football. I mentioned it, the Duke's Mayo Classic between NC State and Tennessee is happening tomorrow evening. What's the best bet to hang your hat on here in this one?
Yeah, I think this is actually a really interesting game. I'm really looking forward to it. I think you are talking about a very, very powerful Tennessee team that we're going to see this year, and especially on offense. But, man, coaching advantage definitely to the NC State side, in my opinion. And when you're talking about catching close to 9 points, that line currently at 9 on the side, close to 10 points in this game, might want to wait and see. Always can use that approach where we know bettors are going to come in active on Saturday morning looking to bet some of the teams that they've seen early on to be excited about. They'll be excited about what they've seen from this Tennessee offense so far. You might get this spread drift out to 10 a little bit. That's where I would look to jump in possibly on NC State. But I think having that coaching advantage is going to go a long way. And this Tennessee team's great, but you got McCall back there at quarterback, a veteran quarterback there for NC State. I like the Wolfpack catching the points. I really do.
I love the points on this one, and I'm with you. If it keeps growing, it's even better. Now, let's talk about Clemson. Listen, they took a pounding to Georgia just a week ago. They take on App State this weekend. Do we see one of those signature Mountaineer upsets here?
I don't think so, Jorge. I think this is one of those ultimate bounce back spots for Clemson. I know we've talked a lot, and I've kind of been leading the charge on Dabo's kind of doing this whole college football thing wrong now these days, where if you're thinking old school, you're thinking wrong, and you got to be thinking about the transfer portal and all that, and he really doesn't seem to be buying into that. And I think that's costing him on the bigger stage in these higher leverage games. App State, I think Clemson takes care of business against them. We got to keep in mind, they played the best team in the country last week in Georgia. Georgia's going to make a lot of very good teams look very bad early in this season. I think that's mainly what happened to Clemson. You're getting a little bit of a discount now on what this point spread was before they played in that game. So I like Clemson here laying the points.
All right, laying the points. All right, looking at the rest of the games in college football, not just on Saturday, but also tonight. What is one game that you think is the lock, and you got your units on that one?
Yeah, I'm looking at Syracuse, actually. I think this is an interesting game. Syracuse at home. We get the Ohio State quarterback transfer in there for them, and they're taking on a Georgia Tech team. Again, Jorge, just going back to overreactions. It's the name of the game early in the season whenever we talk NFL or college football. And what's the overreaction? Georgia Tech went over to Ireland and beat the snot out of Florida State, a highly ranked team. And now they're going to be going into Syracuse, and they're laying points. You can catch 3 points at home with Cuse, with a quality team there. I think that's a good spot to buy against Georgia Tech. So I think Syracuse would be the look for me this weekend, catching 3 points in college football.
That's a good take on that. A lot of people love Georgia Tech all of a sudden just because Florida State lost, but I think Florida State's just that bad. All right, let's talk a little NFL football now. It's the Dan Morgan, Dave Canales era now here in Charlotte. The Panthers 4-point dogs against the New Orleans Saints. The over-under set at about 41.5 in some sports books. Where are you leaning here?
Yeah, this is one of the more fascinating games to me of the weekend, actually, because I think it's two teams where is this going to be the same old Saints where I think there's some problems with that team last year that they didn't really go out and fix or adjust much or try to? And how much have the Panthers grown? I believe they have grown. I believe Bryce Young has. I believe that we get Dave Canales in here and a new coaching staff, and there's a lot to be excited about, I think, if you are a Panthers fan. It might not happen this year. It might not happen this week, but I think that growth is coming here. So I know there are a lot of sharp guys out here in Vegas. They're on both sides of this game. It is one that I'm not really getting in front of from a side or total standpoint. If anything, would lean the under on this game. I do think these offenses on both sides are going to have to prove it to me before I really start believing. One bet I did make in this game was an anytime touchdown for Taysom Hill. I just believe as the Saints are kind of losing some of the weapons that they've had around them in the past on the offensive side of the ball. Derek Carr, don't have all that much trust in. I think when we get closer to the goal line and in that red zone, the Saints will look to utilize Taysom Hill, who had the most touches he's ever had in his season last season. I expect that to increase this year. So I did play an anytime touchdown, about 2-1 on him. Anything over that number, I think, is a good bet in that matchup.
The human Swiss Army knife of Taysom Hill. Maybe he'll find the end zone. All right, brother, give me a lock for the week 1 of the NFL this weekend. What do you like?
I'm sticking in the NFC South. This Commanders team, okay, Jaden Daniels, he could be great. But let's attack rookie quarterbacks early, Jorge. So I will lay the 3 points with the Buccaneers. It's mainly out to 3.5 now. Washington's got major problems on defense. I think Mike Evans is going to have a big game. I think those Tampa Bay wide receivers have a big game. So I'm laying the 3 with Tampa. Let's attack the rookie quarterbacks early and not wait till they get their feet underneath them and play well later in the season.
You know, Todd Bowles is licking their chops. Boy, you got to do that to me, man. You know I'm a Washington fan. It's week 1. Give me 1 week. No. Okay, last one. Give me a good prop bet that you can't pass up.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, I like the Taysom Hill one. I got one going tonight, though. Saquon Barkley, over 15.5 receiving yards. Like that for the Eagles. He's the shiny new toy in Philly. They're going to utilize him every way they possibly can. 15.5. I was shocked to see the number that low. Expect him involved in the screen game, in the passing game overall. We've seen him have some big games receiving before. I know there's a lot of weapons there in Philly, but I expect them to try to get Saquon active early in this game, just like we saw Xavier Worthy last night for the Kansas City Chiefs. You want to get those shiny new toys involved. I expect to see that with Saquon Barkley tonight.
And an international stage to do it with. That'll be a lot of fun. My man always helping you stack your units and giving us all the insight, getting up early out in Vegas. He is Kelly Bidlin of Eisen. Brother, thanks so much for the time, man.
No problem. Thanks, Jorge.
You bet. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, football is here. Football is ready to rock, whether it's college football or whether it's the NFL. Again, big game for the Carolina Panthers to get that new chapter, the Dave Canales, Dan Morgan chapter, off to the right start. They take on the New Orleans Saints week 1 on Sunday at 1 p.m. That's going to do it for this edition of The Point After, but don't forget, you can always stream us, whether it's on your cell phone, on your tablet, or on your television screen. You can do it through the Apple TV app, the Fire TV app, the Roku Stick app, or of course by downloading the absolutely free WBTV News app. See ya!